From stories around the world to stories here at home, this is the National News Broadcast. Pleasant evening. I'm Delanjali Ananda.
Hello there, very good evening indeed. I'm Javed Bongzo and we begin with the headlines of tonight's news.
The Army commander says that there is no necessity to lock down the country so far. Gamasamaga Pilisandara program provides immediate solutions to the requests of the students of Kaikawala School. The Prime Minister points out the people have a responsibility to get the maximum benefit out of the government they elected. Hindagala Rajamahavihara will be conserved. Officials inspect the temple premises. Tests conducted to give Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine to children. Former Speaker W.J.M. Lokubandara passes away. Donald Trump, who lost the governing power, wins the impeachment.
Now for those and other stories in detail. The epidemiology unit has indicated that AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine has already been administered to more than 186,654 people in the country under the COVID-19 inoculation program. The AstraZeneca vaccination was initiated on January 29th. A total of 7,457 persons received the vaccine yesterday. The number of COVID-19 recoveries in the country has increased up to 68,696. Accordingly, the percentage of fully recovered COVID-19 patients in the country is at 91.34. Meanwhile, 8.14% COVID-19 patients are receiving treatments at present, and this amounts to 6,123 patients. 11,535 fully cured patients have left hospitals from the beginning of this month up to now. 865 such patients have been discharged from the hospitals today. "23 patients under the treatment at COVID-19 treatment centers in the Polonnaru district left today after recovering from the illness. Army Commander General Shavendra Siva said the discussions are taking place about the variant that was reported recently. The best action to be taken in that regard will be taken in due course, according to the instructions of health authorities. The Army Commander said that although there are rumors of a lockdown, there is no such situation at present. He said that the best methods will be taken with the health authorities to prevent the spread of the variant in the country. "16,387 PCR tests were conducted yesterday. Accordingly, the total number of PCR tests up to now has reached 1,914,833. Five more COVID-19 related deaths were reported yesterday. The victims were residents of Bandaragama, Habaraduwa, Nitambua, Nigambo, Kandy and Narangoda. They are in the ages of 46, 53, 63, 70, 74 and 83. Chairman of the National Transport Medical Institute, Dr. Shavendra Gamage, says that the main office in Nugegoda will be kept closed tomorrow due to an official getting infected with COVID-19. Meanwhile, police said that 14 individuals who have ignored health protective measures were arrested during the 24 hours ended at 6 a.m. today. 3,121 have been taken into custody so far in connection with the offence. And in more local stories, former Speaker W.J.M. Lokubandara has passed away. Former Speaker W.J.M. Lokubandara has passed away after being infected with COVID-19. Consultant Dr. Ananda Vijayavikrama said that Mr. W.J.M. Lokubandara, who was undergoing treatment at Infectious Disease Hospital in Angoda after being diagnosed with COVID-19, passed away a short while ago.
And now we bring you the global update of the COVID-19. The coronavirus pandemic has killed nearly 2.4 million people and infected more than 108.5 million globally. The number of newly confirmed cases increased by 411,000, while the death toll rose by nearly 13,000 compared with the figures from a day earlier. In the United States, which is the worst hit country, the total number of COVID-19 cases surpassed 27.5 million with over 484,000 deaths thus far. Since the US reported its first coronavirus case over a year ago, the marathon-like battle has been exhausting medical resources in the country as well as the hope and patience of the health sector, although the inoculation process in the country has been accelerated in order to control the spread of the virus. Another 13,300 people in Britain had tested positive for COVID-19, bringing the total number of coronavirus cases in the country to 4 million yesterday. The country also reported another 621 coronavirus-related deaths. The total number of coronavirus-related deaths in Britain now stands at nearly 117,000, the highest among European nations. England is currently under the third national lockdown since outbreak of the pandemic in the country. Similar restriction measures are also in place in Scotland, Wales and North Ireland. Meanwhile, the country has stepped up efforts to speed up vaccine rollout to bring the pandemic under control. Accordingly, all British adults aged 50 and older are expected to be offered a first dose of the coronavirus vaccine by early May. Some countries in the European Union, including Germany, have also imposed restrictions in the bloc internal borders to combat the spread of the new variant of coronavirus. New Zealand's Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern announced a 3-day lockdown in Auckland after 3 unexplained cases of coronavirus were discovered. After an urgent meeting with her cabinet, Ardern said she and ministers had decided to take a cautious approach until they could find out more about the outbreak. The lockdown is New Zealand's first for 6 months. India's COVID-19 tally has risen to 10.9 million at present as 12,000 new cases were registered during the past 24 hours. The death toll in country has amounted to more than 155,500 as 92 COVID-19 related deaths have been reported in the past 24 hours. Meanwhile, South Africa is set to reopen 20 of its land border crossings, lifting the stringent measures imposed last month to curb the rising coronavirus caseload. Accordingly, the border points include those with Zimbabwe, Mozambique and Botswana. With over 1.4 million cases of infection and more than 47,000 deaths, South Africa is the worst hit nation on the continent and is also battling a new variant of the coronavirus which emerged in South Africa.
And WHO experts have voiced concerns at lacking access to raw data while in China probing the pandemic's origins, saying more was needed to detect possible early cases. The 4-week WHO mission to China to uncover the origins of the coronavirus was wrapped up earlier this week with no conclusive evidence.
A World Health Organization investigator said on Saturday that China refused to hand over raw data on early COVID-19 cases. A WHO team probing the origins of the pandemic had requested raw patient data on 174 cases from the early phase of the outbreak in the city of Wuhan in December 2019. But Dominic Dwyer, an Australian infectious disease expert who is a member of the team, said only summaries were provided.
In the ideal world, you would go through it patient by patient by patient. And that's what we call a line listing. And that's standard practice for an outbreak investigation. In this situation, the Chinese gave us the results. We would have liked, I guess, to have seen the raw data, but that can still come.
He said the data was especially important as only half of the cases had exposure to the Huanan seafood market, where the virus was initially detected. The White House on Saturday said they have, quote, deep concerns about the WHO COVID-19 report from China. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan called on China to make available data from the earliest days of the outbreak. He said in a statement that it is imperative the report be independent and free from, quote, alteration by the Chinese government. However, another member of the WHO mission, zoologist Peter Daszak, described, quote, trust and openness with my China counterparts, adding that they did get access to critical data throughout. The WHO and the Chinese Foreign Ministry did not immediately reply to a request for comments. The COVID-19 probe has been plagued by delay, concerns over access, and bickering between Beijing and Washington, which accused China of hiding the extent of the initial outbreak. Beijing has previously defended its transparency and its cooperation with the WHO missions.
And in local stories, once again, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says it is the responsibility of the people to establish a government as well as taking a maximum benefit out of it. The Prime Minister has emphasized that the people should use their rights to get the maximum work done through their representatives. The Prime Minister mentioned this while attending the function to open the multi-purpose building of Beruwala Pradesha Sabha. 140 million rupees has been spent to construct the building with 4 floors. A group of public representatives, including State Ministers Pyal Nishantha, Jayantha Samaravira, parliamentarians Anura Pascal, Sanjeeva Edrimanna, Marjan Palil, Western Province former Chief Minister Isura Devapriya and Chairman of Beruwala Pradesha Sabha Menaka Vimalaratna attended the ceremony. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa said that all of them are working in rural areas more than in the urban areas. He said that it is a responsibility of them to provide similar facilities in urban areas as well as rural areas. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa works for about 15 hours daily. He works with an understanding of all local government institutions. Therefore, the Prime Minister pointed out that maximum benefit should be obtained under the present situation. The Prime Minister pointed out it is the responsibility of the people to get maximum work done by the politicians in the areas whom they have elected.
තමන්ගේ පළාතට මේ තමන්ටත් ඒක පාඩුව. ඒ නිසා තමන් පත් කරන മന്ത്രിවරයා, තමන් පත් කරන සභාපතිවරයා, තමන්ගේ දේශපාලන නායකයෙක් වශයෙන් පත් කරගත්තට පස්සේ ඔබේ වගකීම තමයි ප්‍රදේශය සඳහා ඔවුන් ලවා වැඩ කරවා ගැනීම. ඒ කර ගැනීමේ අයිතිය ඔබට තියෙනවා. ඒ අයිතිය ඔබ පාවිච්චි කරයි කියන විශ්වාසය අපිට තියෙනවා.
Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa also visited Chief Monk of historic Alugama Kande Vihara, Venerable Kokkavita Vipulasara Thera yesterday. After attending religious practices at the temple, the Prime Minister called over on the Chief Monk of the temple, Venerable Kokkavita Vipulasara, and exchanged views with him. Venerable Vipulasara is also the Chief Sanganayaka of Kaltra district and Bentra Valalavita Korle. State Minister Pyal Nishantha and local public representatives were present on the occasion.
Students of Kandi Mimure Kaikawala School have been able to get solutions speedily to their request through Gamasamaga Pilisadarak program. One of the main requests was to get a playground for the school. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, who attended Gamasamaga Pilisadarak program yesterday, met the students of Kaikawala School and inquired about their needs.
තව බිල්ලින් එකකුයි අපි හදලා දෙන්නම් හමුදාවේ. හොඳයි සර්. කිව්වා හෙටම ඇවිල්ලා
The students said that there are many shortcomings for sports in the school. They said that there had never been teachers for sports in the school. Thereafter, the president ordered to build a playground and a building for the school with the labor from the army. Taking action immediately, the army has taken steps to build a playground of Kaikawala Junior School. They launched constructions of the playground this morning following an order from the president and under the direction of Army Commander General Shavendra Silva.
Electorate meetings in connection with the 4th anniversary of the formation of Sri Lanka Podujana Perumana are being conducted throughout the island under the theme Siu Desa Siu Raki Siu Wasara. Another phase of the program was held yesterday and many electorate meetings had been organized today. The Women's Electorate meeting of Kundasale of the Sri Lanka Podujana Perumana was held under the patronage of Minister Kihele Rambukwella at Manikina area. Public representatives and party members attended the meeting. Galgamo electorate women's meeting of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna under the patronage of State Minister Janaka Wakkumbura. It has been organized by Galgamo Chief Organizer and Chairman of Pradesha Sabha, Saman Jayasinghe. Local politicians and party activists were present on the occasion. Maharagama electorate women's meeting of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna was held under the patronage of former Mayor Kanti Kodikara. A group of people, including local politicians and party members, attended the meeting. Rambukana electorate meetings was held under the patronage of State Ministers Kanaka Herath and Roshan Ranasinghe. MP Harshana Balasurya, former Chief Minister Mahipala Herath, regional public representatives and party members were present on the occasion. Horopatan electorate meeting of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna was headed by Minister S.M. Chandrasena. Parliamentarian W.A. Veerasinghe, North Central Province former Chief Minister S.M. Ranjit, regional politicians and party activists attended the meeting. Madhuragiri electorate meeting has been organized yesterday at the premises of Diyasenpura Public Marketplace. The meeting was held under the patronage of State Minister Siripala Gamlath. North Colombo electorate meeting of Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna was held at Totalanga Kalinadi Temple. It has been organized by Colombo Municipal Councillor K. Chamara Udejit. Kasbav electorate meeting of Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna was held under the patronage of Minister Gamini Lokuge at Piliyandala Urban Council Hall. A group of people, including Minister Bandula Gunawardana and local politicians, attended the meeting.
An all-night Pirit chanting ceremony is being held in connection with the 39th anniversary of Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. It will be telecast live from 10:30 p.m. over Rupavahini.
Plans have been drawn up to conserve Hindagala Raja Mahavihare in Kandy, which is the only Buddhist temple in the country where wall paintings of 4 eras can be seen. It has been planned on the instructions of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. The historic Hindagala temple is considered to have been built during the time of King Walagamba. Wall paintings belonging to Anuradhapura, Kandy, Gampola and Colombo eras can be seen at the temple. The first wall painting offering bees honey to the Buddha by the two traders Tapassu and Balduka can be viewed at the Hindagala temple. Since the temple has not been renovated for a long period of time, the arts are in the danger of destruction. Trustee of the temple, Venerable Embilmigama Dhammakiti Thera, said that certain people have taken over caves belonging to the temple premises in forest areas. Paying his attention to the problems, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has instructed officials to immediately conserve the temple premises. Accordingly, a group of officials from the Ministry of Cultural and National Heritage and Department of Archaeology visited the historic Hindagala temple. They have paid attention on mapping the area of the temple and handing over its legal ownership to the temple. Thereafter, they will commence conservation and development activities of the historic temple.
And we now bring you several development news reports. The modernized Ambalangode Urban Council Public Playground was opened today under the patronage of Minister Dr. Ramesh Patrana. The Ministry of Sports and Ambalangode Urban Council have spent 40 million rupees on the project. The indoor cricket nets of Ambalangode Singha Sports Club was opened under the patronage of Minister Nama Rajapaksa. The cricket board has spent 3.5 million rupees on the project. 3 new houses at Dombi-Kirindavela, Mandavala South and Megahavatta Gramanidara divisions were vested with the people today. It was implemented under the Vistas of Prosperity Policy Statement to provide housing for low-income recipients. A group of people, including MP Milan Jayatilaka, were present on the occasion. Valimada Boragas Palasatanna Road is being developed by laying concrete. The project was launched under the patronage of Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna Valimada convener Indika Sampath Jayasurendra. The stretch from Buddhist Shrine to Palace Satana Rendapola Ambevela Road is to be developed under the project, which will benefit about 500 families. The coastal road from Shilau from Thoduava to Nainamadama is being developed at a cost of 180 million rupees. It is the shortest road to distribute fish to various areas of the country from Shilau.
The funeral of veteran actor Jayahlal Rohana took place at Borella General Cemetery this evening. The body of late Jayahlal Rohana was brought to Sudarshi Hall in Colombo yesterday afternoon for the public to pay their last respects. His remains were lying there until 4 p.m. today. He was ailing for some time and 56 years old at the time of his demise. The funeral ceremony was held following religious observances. Prime Minister's Media Secretary Rohan Valvita read out the condolence message of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. A group of people, including artists, were present on the occasion. Thereafter, the remains of late veteran actor Jayahlal Rohana were taken to General Cemetery in Borella. And that's it for tonight's news. Do watch us tomorrow at the very same time. Good night.
Good night.